of this draft individually, but how does this draft function together and also against Vanir's? I think that's the realistic question.
And you're going to like this because I'm in agreement. I think Vanir just committed daylight robbery in that draft.
Okay.
And do you know what? I'm going to put it out there as our analysts leave the room. Niddly, I don't care for it. And you know what? You can say MC's playing it. Don't care.
All right, but let's move a little more away from our feelings on the draft and talk about
what we're going to see.
Yes, thank you. And I think from the get-go, looking at the expected priorities in the early sort of, first 3, 4, 5 waves, I'm looking at Vanir and I'm saying, I think you probably take priority in just about every lane. I think Kex might be able to throw a spanner in the works there. I think Gangplank can take priority against a Gwen. It's just very hard to contest, obviously, that E-start, skip and slash, all the extra attack speed and damage. Yeah. It's very hard to deal with that. So I then look towards Noodle and say, all right, what lane are you going to attack? It seems like for now, hang around the top side, which means either we are going to get some banger late invades on the top. Oh, no. Okay, he was walking towards the pit. And for a second, I just had flashbacks of Monday, that's all. So wards in the pit to cover a potential, over the wall from MC, and that's obviously an adaptation when you play against Niddlies and things that can go over the wall that want to play aggressive. So a little bit of information gained there as well from mostly the Raptor ward, and we'll see what Noodle does with it. But going to be starting on the top side, skipping Gromp as in Zhao. All right, we'll see. Maybe what's going to end up happening here is Wolves into Gromp into top, but no, just skipping Gromp outright. So that says to me, very early aggressive path from Noodle, I suppose. But 4 camps is what it's gonna take to achieve level 3. MC on the opposite side on this Niddly. Track the clear speed is his favorite champion. He's gonna know how to clear this one incredibly efficiently into the top side. I expect he'll be done with Krugs before the Skull Crab spawns, as he'll be leaving the bottom side jungle at 220. So yeah, I think on pace for that. As Noodle looking at his Raptors, expect will go to the red and then look for something off the back of that 4 camp. But
right, because he's far behind. He's already.
He's going to miss the Gromp.
He's half a camp before. He's missing Gromp. This could even give an opportunity for MC to move in and catch it himself, because...
Yeah, because I think the thing is, after MC's full clear, he's going to go to Skull Crab.
Grab it.
And then he's going to go and check the topside jungle as you do standardly. And he's going to be a Gromp. Yeah, so I think MC is going to find himself a very happy customer on that invade.
The red. He's gone immediately from chickens to Krugs and is now going back to start the red buff.
Which, okay, that... I can explain that. That's to cycle the camps a little bit quicker, because it seemed like he's always going to be clearing out the jungle entirely. So why not cycle?
So it's a case of making sure that the cooldown is a good line to go through.
But it's still very peculiar in that sense of, okay, now you've just given MC a free jungle camp on the top side. I would expect him to go and check afterwards. So here you go, very standard. And this is the adaptation from Nile here, picking up the ward. And yeah, I mean,
he wasn't expecting it. He was recalling, and it's like, huh?
Right. So. Now, it's just a flat-out camp advantage to MC, which, in the moment, it might not necessarily matter that much, but MC on a comfort champion, again, it's very important to highlight that. Riddle have a very comfort-based, pick-orientated draft. This is not a draft that necessarily, in my opinion, works very well together.
Slow Q. Slow Q needs to be careful, but Noodle going to back away. Wasted a little bit of time. Didn't even get a summoner off Slow Q, though.
But it's time bought, because now Slow Q more likely to have to blow the flash to make it back to lane.
Teleport.
Teleport, thank you. As Noodle passes through the top side, places a ward on the Raptor camp again. Slow Q does have to expend his teleport. Doesn't even have flash as Ignite, so it doesn't even have flash.
Expended it in Champ Select.
Exactly. And yeah, MC back to full clearing. And of course, now, naturally, Vanir are going to have a very good idea that he's probably doing this, and I want to see the adaptation of Noodle to pretty much just go straight to the dragon here. The issue is, though, bottom side, Fatijan and Nukes, it looks like they are actually going to be having bottom side priority, so that's something that can be checked here by the Riddle laners, as Vanir are going to have to eat up this wave. If they see that they're looking for a reset, then maybe dragon becomes a little more of an apt opportunity here. But Noodle's actually pinging onto the chicken camp. He wants to go and invade, and MC, I think, is expecting Noodle to be on this dragon or is just going into this bottom side jungle for a little bit of information. Either way, looks like maybe instead they actually want to try and set up some kind of dive. They don't have mid lane prio, and Sahira does have teleport, but no mana.
Can they do this when there's a Nautilus Varus?
I mean, I think the thought process is you've got Leona and you've got Gravitum in hand for Aphelios, so maybe that's enough setup for them to work with. Not too sure, but Noodle picks up the chicken camp on the top side, actually disrupts the camp. Nukes is here covering, which is a very big deal. If Noodle went over the wall, I think that would have been flash blown from Noodle at best case for him. As a lot going on just in between the sort of intricacies of the jungle right now. I know it might seem a bit irritating to only talk about the jungle, the opening moments of the game, but it's so important.
This is what we talk about so often, because people say, look, there's aggressive junglers, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's very binary in terms of you either gank lanes or you clear your own jungle. And then some people are like, well, the next layer down is like, well, you can go in and you can invade, you can cause stuff like this. But the decision making between these two junglers is going to set up this game so pivotally, primarily because not that much is happening across the map. We've seen one summoner blown, that isn't Smite, before people start chatting in chat. And it's a teleports back to lane after the only gank we've seen so far. However, Noodle's pathing is what is going to set the tempo for where these junglers are going to be.
Yep.
And they're the ones where you'd expect play to be around, even though we haven't seen that much play and interaction just yet.
Yeah, and speaking of pathing, look at the jungle camp difference already between Noodle and MC. It's starting to ramp up quite quickly. MC doesn't have Smite, but I think should be able to execute this grump just before Noodle gets here. However, there's a read on the map.
Nile's coming through. MC's in trouble. Actually going to lose out on the buff, I believe, as Nile goes over. MC flash over the wall, should be able to escape as Gwen can't follow up. But that's what can happen.
And that's just great presence of... Realm Warp coming in!
Coming on through. It's just Sahira gets the flash forward. The damage is there. Can they get the kill? Yes, they can. Sahira teleporting out, knowing that Gwen can't stop it. As we see the escape from Gangplank Hex on his way out.
Yeah, has to blow the teleport because he knows. Well, they've just teleported to my Tri-Brush.
Back in now,
and now he has to just come back to lane. Yeah, he knows. I mean, if he was, you know, it's elsewhere at the moment. Star.
On the bot side, I think Nukes is just going to take a little bit of damage, but no real extended exchange on there.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately for Kex, just realizes, okay, got to blow the teleport. If he was really, you know, really thinking, teleport back to base, but I guess then maybe you would miss the wave, so that would feel quite bad. MC clearing out the bottom side jungle. Will be spotted out, there you go, by that ward. Will he drop a control ward to maybe clear that one out? Sweeper's coming off cooldown, maybe he gets that information, we'll see. But yeah, very efficient, you can see MC. Both jungle camps at the same time. It's something that loads of junglers can do, but do you see many players do it as efficiently as that? I don't really think so. And we'll just start up the dragon. Has the Sork Pen Boots, Dark Seal, a lot of confidence between him and Slowq both having, of course, the stacking item, which could potentially build into a Medjai's.
Would be expected, especially when you're giving MC this middly and...
Oh, pings coming onto this dragon, they know.
They do, and Noodle is running on down. They've got Sahira in reserve as well. Bot lane priority is for Riddle, and they're actually going to start a fight down there. Dragon is going to be secured by Vanir. Quickstep needs to be a little bit careful. Burning Low has to run. Snipe coming through from Kevo, but Quickstep will be the one who falls. It's Aphelios securing first kill of the game for Riddle.
All right, global difference there for Riddle. They pick up the kill, and it goes on to Fatijan. That's the important thing. Cannon Barrage ensures that 2v2 is a win, but in the river, Noodle and Sahira, they forced MC off of that dragon. Leashed for the Xin Zhao and the Rise. So Vanir, they do pick up the first dragon. It's not a complete win on this play for Riddle, unfortunately, and Sahira is actually trying to do his damnedest to slow down MC, taking away the little chickens. Isn't quite going to find the big one, and immediate pathing again. Wants the Skull Crab, maybe even on top of that, the Gromp, but that control ward as kind of hovered over by our observers there, not spotted out by the Riddle camp. And we'll continue to provide a little more information as Vanir now know that he's on the red buff, and Sahira, Quicksef, Noodle's also on the way to this. MC has to make quick work of the red buff if he wants to secure it, and unfortunately for the Vanir side, they're not able to get in time, but they will start up this Herald. And now Riddle, what is the answer to this? You've brought up nukes, but with Kevo missing, is this a scary contest for you? I mean, you can tell by the posturing that they think that this is a 5-man contest from Vanir, because Kevo is basing and Kevo is walking towards this as well. This is the part where I'll say, all right, Vanir have this, what about the bottom lane? Because Fatijan, he should be stacking up a wave, and Riddle are actually looking like they want to set up on the bottom side. It's only 1 minion wave, and Fatijan actually isn't even going to go to try and take off at least one tower play for this. So Vanir, if you ask me, they get away scot-free. with this one. They pick up the Herald at very little cost, a minion wave at worst. But even in saying that, it's Nile, which is realistically the person that's going to be missing that, because they sent Kevo up to the top side. He opened through the mid lane. They said, all right, no use in sending him to the bottom side because Riddle, they've got control of this side of the map. We'll just be sending our AD carry to die. Get him up into the top side, send the immune Gwen down to the bottom lane instead. And eventually, Fajijan has traded out. So that's 2 plates. But it's Herald that's still in pocket. 1 plate goes over to Kevo. And this is going to be about how much work Vanir get on the side of the map done. Nukes and Kex, they're here.
I mean, Noodle has Rift Herald as well, as you mentioned, so that second plate going over
It's 2 for 2.
If they can get another half, they're going to actually drop the Rift Herald. Nuke's coming through, hitting the tail effect. Only slow onto Nukes as Kex moves forward. MC on the route, actually, but they're looking for the dive with the help of Rift Herald. Depth charge onto the gangbang as he's knocked up. Nukes goes low, but it's actually the first kill of the fight going over to Leona as the tower takes him down, still standing strong as well. MC should be able to get the cut down on to the Nautilus. And Slowq actually going to be donated the kill over. They want to get the Akali rolling. And the tower stays alive as well.
Tower stays alive. Correct call to give that to Slowq. Slowq had roamed all the way up here to ensure that that was going to be a successful play. In your right mind, you would maybe think MC just executes. But no, definitely very generous and makes the right team play there. Kex, Orange is away, or Citrus is away from that route. Would have died otherwise. And yeah, Nukes, they're diving onto a Aftershock Leona at the end of the day. I think it's an Aftershock Leona in this game. And MC, yeah, just could have cleaned up, could have very easily taken down. But yeah, just gives this one over. And Slowq, at the very least, picks up something for this roam. Is Aftershock Leona. I did get that call correct.
Good stuff.
And yeah, it's just going to make incredibly tanky, as you would expect, but definitely the correct choice in this particular game. She is the only true frontliner in this game. I feel like in a meta where obviously we see so much glacial augment, sometimes supports will just kind of mentally default to what is typically the norm in a lot of games. But using forward thinking, recognizing I am the sole front line realistically. So let's make that one be the lock-in. And Quickstep has done the same thing because, I mean, it's just him and Noodle that are the quote-unquote tanks front lines of the team. And if we zoom out, 12.5 minutes into this game, it's neck and neck in the gold department. I think that's when I call for the gold individually, because that's really where you have to try and start to make some kind of distinctions between the two. The mid lane, 500 up for Sahira. Jungle is actually dead even, and the only other notable difference between laners is Kex and Nile with around the 500 gold difference as well. So neck and neck. Realm Warp being cast towards Vanir members on the opposite side of his own tower, but maybe the call was to try and cut off Slowq or MC in the river.
Dragons up in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So wanted to be positioning around that one potentially, as Riddle just putting in a little bit of poke from Falicam, but he's going to take just as much from Varus, and the engagement comes through here. People need to be careful. Noodle throws down the ultimate, but he's getting taken down by people in the sun. It's going to be MC going down first. Quickstep securing the kill, not necessarily the target you want to get the money on, but you'll take the kill onto the enemy jungler nonetheless. However, Noodle's going to reset, so they're not going to try to sneak away this dragon.
Yeah, not just yet. Maybe. I mean, that's an interesting choice. I think no smite. That's the only reason I can think of for not going for this dragon right here, right now. But yeah, spoken about, naturally, Nidalee squishiness as a champion. You jump in situations like that, you want to be out as soon as possible.
Yes.
You don't want to stick around. And unfortunately, Kevo has the Eclipse already finished up and was able to burst down MC in the midst, of course, of Noodle's damage quite quickly. And now I expect a Vanir contest on towards this dragon. I don't think that you would see them ignore it this time around, but it's given apt time for Riddle to potentially prepare for a contest, because Kex has teleport of his own, has the ultimate available. It wasn't available beforehand, but Riddle are just going to give this one up, it seems like. Posturing says, absolutely not. The reset comes in from the Aphelios. And that will be second dragon. It's going to be an Ocean, which honestly, with the amount of healing and regen that can come through from some of these champions anyway, and the fact of the innate tank stats of champions like Ryze and Norless, that Ocean Soul is going to feel very, very oppressive to have to deal with, and it's also going to nullify some of the poke that we was theorizing would obviously come through from the Nilius, why you picked the pick outside of the early game pressure. It's about that poke in the mid game, and that can be nullified if Vanir continue to snowball on the dragons.
And I mean, with those plates falling off as the dragon was taken as well, the opportunity to get more gold is a little bit more tricky as we move into the mid game. But Vanir, those two dragons have set themselves up in a reasonably good position. Of course, Riddle hold the very minor gold lead, but as you said, we know some of these players can play these champions, and this is kind of where you'd expect a team with the more early aggression from champions like the Nidalee. You kind of expect them to be up at this point. However, MC, given a very good opportunity to get ahead so far in this game, has maybe struggled a little bit to get anything truly going, with Vanir being able to take down their first tower as well on the top side. That basically evens things up.
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying, MC's not really been able to get too much done tangibly, right? Anything that really looks like a massive result for Riddle. Up a couple of camps, sure, but that's about it. Up in XP, stats that we typically associate with MC. But again, it's not really provided too much for Riddle in the grand scheme of things, unfortunately. And this is why I start to, you know, relate back to draft, assuming that there is no major fight around this Herald. So may have to hold on to my point until after the fact here, as Herald will be checked.
Sick. Hex on the top side, but nearly there as well. Vanir are going to be chased away as Riddle move into the area, removing vision as they do. Tahira over the wall, of course, level 12. That's second rank in that.
Yeah,
ultimate.
thank you, observers, because I was about to say, there's not too much vision here for Vanir. This was, in the grand scheme of things, a bit of an audacious Herald startup, given the lack of information around the pit itself. And Riddle have found themselves with priority and numbers here first. Slowq can always teleport if he feels like it's necessary for Riddle. As Vanir, they don't look like they want to give this one up free.
Oh, Nuke's going to dive on through, but they're only going on to Noodle, who pops the ultimate immediately as teleport coming on through. Nidalee now the focus on the top side as Riddle lose Nukes. They're going to move back in. They're trying to get on
Slowq, though.
Be able to do so. Quickstep will also run down river. There was a fight in the top side of Slowq.
Someone get the Herald.
On forward. The Herald Eye is going to be skilled by MC and moves back into the pit, maybe looking to escape, changes his mind and throws the spear back in. Finds it onto Noodle, but it doesn't go down. Slowq survives and pops a little bit more health as MC will chase further, looking towards the Zinzal, but won't be able to find him with the spear. And that should be all she wrote.
That's a massive win for Riddle, and we have to remember, Nariki just lost their game.
Yes.
They win this game again.
Re-engage onto MC as Noodle's looking for it, but the Gravitum holds him in place, and Nidalee should be able to secure the kill.
Yeah, and like we was just saying, Riddle, if they win this game, that's playoffs. That's locked in.
Yes, done, sorted.
Yeah, you know, the rest of next week doesn't particularly matter for them anymore, as let's look at this engage here onto Noodle. Crescent Guard saves so much damage, and it looks kind of dire, realistically, but look at the top side. Nidalee's just getting run down 1v1 by Kex. Ooh, eats the true damage portion. Real nice as well from Kex to get some of the trial by fire damage in, and we saw what was happening down here on the bottom side. It was a bit of just mechanics check here from Riddle individually, as yeah, Vanir a little bit too scared after taking down Nukes, a little bit too much of an overcommit, you can maybe argue as well, and it's punished by Riddle and quite heavy-handedly too. 2,000 gold ahead. Medjai's picked up for MC, and that says to me in the mentality of him right now that he is confident that he will be able to stack someone up. To pick it up so early, that's in its own right a bit of a gauntlet throwdown to say, I know I'm not going to die from here on out. I'm going to play not necessarily safe, but to stack up the AP to ensure that he can hit a little bit harder as things go on. Herald picked up. Kevo only has cleanse.
Ooh, and actually gonna have to be popping it as the Gravitum stun comes on down. Riddle moving back into the jungle now, having blown those resources for the mid lane, and now Kevo is a much easier target without cleanse, of course, no flash available either. I'm just looking at where the next fight is gonna be. Probably around this third dragon. Of course, Vanir have been having the worst of it.
Yeah, and Riddle are gonna feel so comfortable to contest this now, I think. The fact that Kevo doesn't have flash and other targets can very easily be picked up on. Fancy John's got very, very good guns, so they've got priority on the bottom side. Kex is level 13. That's a massive caliber moment to chunk out so many members. Just the extra bit of HP, it can mean the world.
Watch Slowq as well on your mini-map as he's moving up through, because we know what this guy can do on a flank. And we're going to see Rift Herald dropped in the mid lane. That's just going to cause a little bit of pressure that Vanir will also have to consider. But when you were talking about Riddle being comfortable contest, they're going to be comfortable just to start it up, because Vanir is going to try and stop this charge. Won't be able to do so, but will save their tower. It's free real estate.
Yeah, that's Vanir yielding that dragon. That's Vanir recognizing, okay, we don't think we're strong enough to contest them right now. It's a tough call. I mean, I think they're definitely not all on their item spikes. So I can understand why they'd maybe not want to. And I think it's definitely the safer play. But it does mean that now Riddle gets so much extra time. And if we're talking about, you remember I opened quite strongly. I said, I feel like Vanir got away with
Kevo needs to be careful. Not going to be caught by the Xenoblade, so should be okay.
Got away with murder
Yes.
in this draft. And picked up a lot of S-tier picks, a lot of strong one-to-one picks into the enemy composition. But this is the thing, in these high-stakes games like this, you really cannot undervalue comfort sometimes.
True.
And I mean, again, and I'll reiterate the point, for Riddle, you look at all of these champions, maybe you can argue Fatijan, maybe you apply a different champion to him, but at the moment, it's the Jinx Felios meta, so
Yeah.
that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I think of GP Kex, Riddle, MC on the Nidalee. I think of slow Q on Assassins, right? Whether it's Irelia or Akali, and nukes on engaged tanks, of course, like this Leona. So comfort can trump an S-tier draft. Fatijan.
That's the dive away, but
Slow
look
Q.
at this. Akali's coming on through. Keep your eyes on the board. Kevo goes.
Kevo got chunked.
He's diving on through. Slowkey's trying to get as much damage as possible. Nice ultimate from Fatigan will blow Zero.
Oh.
He's going to survive. Burn slow with the Ignite. Will go down. Nille trying to do everything he can to assassinate, but won't be able to do so. Gets taken down in the end. And it is Fatigan with the double kill. Baron on the menu. Can Noodle and Kevo contest 2v3?
Kevo can play max range, but he's just looking to reset here. Fatijan!
Fatigan gonna get him. Yes, he can.
That's great.
No, that stops Baron. That's not an
Yeah.
option anymore. But now he needs to run as Riddle chasing him down, looking for something off the back of that stop. But Noodle, he's dancing away, has no support.
That's it.
Slowed by the solar flare, dives back in, knowing his days are numbered. There will be MC securing kill.
Yeah, but I mean, going in 1-for-1, it's a kamikaze play at the end of the day, but it stops the Baron. And if Riddle get that, that is a massive snowball
Yes.
that they continue to roll over from that fight with. And yes, Loki on the flank, a little bit over eager to go back in with the Shuriken flip and with the perfect execution R2. But I mean, look at all of the AoE damage. Can you blame him? To be honest with you, I don't think you can. But look at Fatijan, relatively untouched until Nille gets his hands on the AD carry, but even then, cut down in his tracks. And so much damage came back out on to the members of Vanir. It's cookie cutter stuff from Noodle, I think. Great in the moment decision to go for that 1-for-1, because again, if Fatijan gets on top of that Baron, that's it, he heals up.
It's done.
Yeah, that Baron goes down. As Slow Q does win this 1v1, I think. It would be quite close. It's Rocket Belt, so it's more flat pen. And Nille's only really working with healing and cooldown reduction. So more battle stats for Slow Q.
Size against going in from the bush, though.
Yeah, exactly. So backs away. And there won't be any 1v1 to be had on the side lane. Just over 90 seconds on this Ocean Dragon.
Again, it's not Soul Point, though, and
Yeah.
today we've seen Dragon really becoming a...
They've been the core win
It's
condition.
been the win condition in the first two games. Ocean Dragon could be very, very important, as we mentioned earlier, saying, look, Riddle don't want to be staring this one down because a lot of poke's going to be nullified and these champions are already pretty beefy. Of course, we know Sahira likes to go for this really tanky Rise build, which he's already picked up the Fimble Winter and Frozen Heart as well, of course, of that Everfrost. So he's not exactly a squishy mage as Kevo.
Okay.
A little bit squishy, gets rooted up, but not going to be too bad. But that's a Felios ult down.
Yeah, observers, can we click on Aphelios? I don't know what the R2 cooldown is. Yeah, that's going to be that's going to be on cooldown for about 40 seconds whilst that dragon's up. That's a long period of time to not have an Aphelios ult on it.
I mean, that's an interesting decision. Gotta say,
Yeah.
noticed it more this game than the other game.
Ooh, Realm Walk here, looking for
Hold
Cat.
that point as they are looking in.
Oh my god!
Huh?
That was a max range-ish spear plus a barrel back into Kevo. And
painful. XF in trouble. He's gonna get caught out, taken low, and will be taken down. It's MC securing the kill.
yeah, 4 more stacks to that Death Note. And I'm going to be honest, loads of pings onto the Baron. That's a thumbs up from me. If you wanted to start this right here as Riddle, I would totally agree. Maybe Fatijan can cycle out as well. He's got Calibrum and the Chakrams. And look at this teleport from Kex onto Nille.
They want to fight, but they're just going to turn away from the Baron to take him down. That's interesting as Baron resets, will secure the kill. Kex goes low, but survives. But once again, Vanir are happy to throw their bodies onto the fire if it prevents
Sahira
going down. Sahira, though, might be caught out not by the Xenoblade, not by the spears. Noodle on the side helps out emotionally, if nothing else. But now Riddle needs to be careful because the poke is being returned. Remember, we talked about the poke coming in from Nidalee, but you've got Varus, you've got Xin poke's not awful. You've got the Rise as well, and now they're moving towards this dragon. This will be second for Riddle, third for Vanir, depending on who picks it up. Remember, Vanir are working with one fewer member, as we've got 10 seconds on that Gwen teleport available, though. If they want to get involved in Nilly, it's going to be able to do so. But in the Dragon Pit, sorry, it is going to be Riddle starting this one up, but they're going to try and get the fight onto Slowky. Goes into the Shroud, dancing around. The Dragon is secured by MC. The root and the damage is pretty good, but Quick7 needs to be careful. Teleport coming in. Nilly looking for a Kali. Nilly, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, turn around, Nilly, turn around. Don't go for this.
Don't go in there. It's not safe.
Yeah.
A lot of horror story plays coming through today.
I don't know.
You look confused by this play.
I don't know. The resources are still there for Riddle. Slowky's a little bit chunked out. This is desperation. I mean, it's going down really quickly, but there's the gangplank goal.
Loads of work. Quick7 moves away. It's stolen by MC. Disaster for Vanir, and they're going to be ripped to shreds. I don't know what Vanir were thinking, but Riddle respond. They take down 3 members. Noodles in the jungle looking for something, anything. He's recalling between 2 members. What's going on in Vanir's comms? Riddle take literally everything.
And MC continues to have the highest number of neutral objective steals on top of that. Noodle, he smited the Baron for HP at the start of it. And because of that, they burn the Baron down too quickly because they're put under pressure. And that means that there is no smite to secure that Baron. And what happens? I don't think it was MC's smite. I think it was the spear. I would need confirmation, but I'm pretty confident that it was the spear.
All right, here's the replay. Get close to
it. It was the spear. He didn't get in for the smite. And you can see it's seconds. A second away from having smite up, but he needed it for the HP to tank the Baron, and the pressure was on. And when it matters most for Vanir to pick up this win, to try and at least, you know, make Riddle sweat for this playoff spot, they end up fumbling the Baron, and it's just a head-scratching decision from Vanir. But Riddle, they're gonna be laughing all the way to the bank with it. Baron buff, no neutral objective for the next 3 minutes, so they can just siege on the map. They got 90 seconds just over that to work with this Baron. And again, I still stand by my point. I think Vanir walked away with a pretty big draft win.
It went from a heist, a bank robbery, into a Benny Hill film so quickly.
But again, this is why comfort can be so important for games when you need your players to perform. Because sometimes drafts just don't matter. They just don't. And if you've got your players on champions that they know they can consistently mechanics check on champions that they might just, you know the enemy team, in this case, all of these players will have, you know, a lot of practice against these champions. But being able to say, as Riddle, okay, we don't care about the composition, as long as we know we can play well together and outskill the opponent because we're so confident on what we have, that's the important thing. And that's paid off because, I mean, again, very objectively, Vanir had priority, I think, in all 3 lanes, at the very least 2, and they just didn't really walk away with a massive tangible lead. And that's the important thing to pull away from this as Riddle break open the base of the Baron, Kex in the mid lane, so much damage onto our frontliner.
I mean, MC's 4-2-7. This Nidalee came online at 15 minutes. That's not how this champion's meant to work.
Oh my god, Kevo nearly got 1 shot.
Right, okay, Riddle, they're moving forward. That ultimate from Gangbang is just going to make Kevin walk the long way around. Inhibitor 2 goes down. It's only a matter of time, right?
Yep. Riddle, I think they are looking to punch their ticket into playoffs. They saw Nariki before this game lose the ability, really, to have it in their hands properly. And they have pounced on this opportunity against Vanir with the Nidalee.
And this is a direct rival in playoffs.
Yeah.
Right?
This is the kind of matchup where I think I'd have to pull up the table. Because of the way the seeding works, this is actually a playoffs potential matchup that you can see. This is one of those
potential 6-pointers we talk about in football terms.
Yeah. I mean, because if you think about it like this, if 3rd plays 6th and 4th plays 5th,
Riddle climbed 1 spot above Dusty, who...
It could happen in theory. It's a bit of a long shot, given that Dusty picked up their win. But...
we've still got a week of games left to play, though.
Exactly.
So anything can happen within this. And we say the league doesn't stop after today, even with playoffs secured, because teams are still fighting for seeding and still fighting for positioning, as Nilla is going to try and grab an objective bounty. Small solace that they can now pick up these little pockets of gold across the map, but they're still standing. There was potential for this Vanir roster to do something in this game, but Riddle really turned on the style, looking potentially for the snipe, but that's the Varus ultimate depleted. No Baron anymore, which is fortunate for Vanir. Defending will become a little bit easier, but they're also having to stem 2 super minion up waves in the mid and the bot. Next fighting position will probably... I don't know if the Dragon's even that relevant anymore.
I don't think these teams care right now. Riddle, I think they're just looking to use the pressure of the super minions to try and get this third lane down. MC might walk all the way down to get the Dragon, and Riddle, they say, all right, there's a little bit too much wave clear here for us to deal with.
A minute on Baron, you take this Dragon, you reset, you go take over Baron's area, you secure that. Hey, look, I'm an analyst.
Yeah. And they're just making the sound play. They recognize, okay, we go for something that didn't end up working. Oh, slow Q.
I mean,
he'll win. He'll win handedly.
So much damage on the
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think you quite realized how strong this Akali is. Like, that is, I'm scared for Nile. I'm calling out slow Q. I'm scared for the Gwen. As, yeah, Gwen removed off the map. And the timer means that if Riddle get themselves in position, that Nile's immediately going to have to find themselves back out to the map with a very forced TP. And again, these frontal fights, they've just been working for Riddle. I think if you look top down on this composition, you said, who wins front to back?
Vanir.
You would probably edge Vanir in most cases. Albeit, Aphelios, Gangplank, it's a tough call.
Well, I was going to say also with a 9k gold lead, that kind of swings things.
Yeah, naturally.
You'd think anyway, is the hero just going to use that ultimate to get back to the top lane to defend. Baron is up in 10. As Vanir just going to put some holding fire down. Well, Riddle are going to put some holding fire down. Vanir are going to avoid it as we're going to see Noodle diving on through for Kex. But this isn't the 1v1 that the Sinzao wins anymore, so he's going to have to back away. 3 levels on Kex. 4 items on the Gangplank, including boots on top of that. And Riddle, honestly, with Baron being up, Vanir probably have to contest this, because if they don't take it,
they just lose. They just lose, yeah. The siege, perfect word, insurmountable. Baron wave with all the supers, it's just going to be too much. Slow Q on the flank again, has the ultimate.
Needs to be careful. Fang actually misses the ultimate, but Slow Q comes through, almost blows up the Nautilus, but goes low himself, has to go golden snipes, goes wide, but they will be able to get the shutdown onto him.
This could be big.
Gwen. This could be big, as we see Vanir has to get away as well.
One more!
Sahira takes it, and on the other side, things are looking good for Vanir as well. Minions are moving into the base. Riddle are going to be taken away from the Baron area. Kex goes low, but almost takes down Noodle. Nile's low as well. Vanir are clinging on in this fight, looking for the damage, but coming from MC. Can't get onto Sahira, but the towers in the base are falling. Nukes goes low. They're just buying time at the moment. Gwen will be able to get the recall. Can they save the bottom tower? I think they will be able to. Yeah, just moving on there now, so they shouldn't be losing anything in the base. MC picks up Zinza. That's going to stop any kind of play from Vanir onto the Baron itself, because they've got no smite. Nukes and MC running around, wasting so much time. Kevo goes low. Teleport has to come in as MC dances away. Nukes gets another one. Sahira running for his life.
He smites the Baron.
Nile's back. He's going to now take a little
Nukes.
Nukes goes in, doesn't take down Sahira notably. Teleport coming on through. MC needs
to
driving away. Needlework gets it.
Slow Q's back.
Q's back. How has this gone on so long? I think this will be the end as Nile moves away, but Slow Q is chasing, looking to try and get the play. Can he get there? Northern Quickstep. He saves everything.
Deep breath, Will. Deep breath. Let me talk. The hilarity doesn't end. How did he even know he was there?
Why is this all happening today?
Why is Vajan soloing the
Don't solo it, Aphelios.
Hey, he's got it. He's a 3.5 item Aphelios. As Slow Q and Kex will come into tank, but I mean,
Noodle and Quickstep
Noodle's alive, yeah.
They want to take the fight instead, but they can't find Quickstep going in with the anchor. Going low, but remember this guy's pretty tanky, gets depth charge onto 2, Slow Q caught up with the wind, becomes lightning, but he'll go down. And now Riddle once again turn their attention towards the Baron. Do you know what?
Yep.
Let's just not do Baron teams. Let's just stop. We just have an agreement not to do this, because I would ask for a replay. Our observers are smurfing today, have to say.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to ask for that, because it'll be about 45 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, I don't know if there was supposed to be a replay queued. I'm not going to interrupt any of that, but I will say, I just want to know how long it's going to be. If anything, must call Baron power play, by the way.
That's 3 minutes. We know that one already.
The play itself might have been 3 minutes.
We go for the replay, we come back, and it's like, we don't know what the Baron power play was, because it's done, right?
That's okay. Back down to earth for a second.
Okay.
Ocean Dragon spawns in 1 minute. That... You guys can't see what Will's doing, but he's doing yoga poses to try and calm down. It's Ocean Soul for Riddle if they pick it up. It is almost a 10,000 gold deficit. Now, we are at technically the point of the game where gold leads start to matter less and execution is very important, but I mean, you zoom out, look at the item discrepancies in the places where it matters realistically. It's actually Sahira that's pulling a lot of this gold back. I mean, he's full build. His itemization is quite cheap. So this rise is about as strong as it will get. And again, with the amount of CC and burst damage that is available to Vanir, you could see some kind of turnaround come in, but Riddle, they've got a bit of a side angle here.
Poke Nile, though, could find
Kevo!
For the poke. He's going to get slowed up, but will be able to dive behind.
Kevo!
Like Kevin needs to get... He's dead! How has that happened? How?
Poke! Poke! It's the poke available to Riddle.
Engaged. Nile's looking for something, but Nukes is probably not the priority target. Sahira needs to be a little bit careful. The needle
Take what you can get.
The damage, they will be able to take Nukes down eventually. Nile goes gone to survive the burst. Quickstep needs to be careful, but Kex is chased away.
Slowq's just not here.
That's big for Noodle. Slowq's in the bot side.
Oh, Nile's dead.
Dragon. MC. Nile, he's not dead. He's absolutely fine. Get some fruit, lad, and you'll be good. Vanir, health bars are too low. Slowq. This looks delicious for him.
This is a game-winning flag.
On the table, goes towards Nile. Can he find him? He's caught out the slow, but not the stun from the Winter's Bite. Executes 2 with 1. Sahira goes forward with Noodle. It's 2v1. What can Slowq do? A bit of damage. Sahira can't get in the fight anymore. Noodle's going to go low. Has to run for his life. The blast cone away. Manages to do so. Teleport back to the base to defend from Sahira. Zinzao, I don't know if you can go back, dude. I don't know if the recall's going to be stopped by Fadigan, who's looking for it.
Cue the bush, cue the bush. There you go.
He kills Noodle. And now on the base, it's 2v1. MC's there trying to bring in the minions to this inhibitor. They've respawned. Goodness gracious me.
But Riddle, they need to regroup. I think they have a lot of time to work with on the death time as Quickstep's got about 15 seconds left. Noodle and Nile, though, a lot longer. Vanir, I think they might be able to hold on, but this teleport spells that Riddle want the game now.
Riddle wants to go through. They've got Kex here. Kevin needs to be careful. He's just so low. The barrels won't blow him up this time around. Vanir moving forward, trying to defend. Rise is there, Nautilus is there, Kevo moving back, but MC's moving towards the play. Kex is going to break down the towers. Riddle are going for the end. They're going for playoffs. Quickstep, the anger goes wide, moves towards Fadigan, has to go gone. The fight is on the bare Nexus. Riddle have done it. Slowq moves into the backline. Kevo uses cleanse. Nile's doing everything he can, but he's swarmed by Riddle members. They're going to take the fight. They're going to take the Nexus and playoffs. I'm going to